is Sarah from sewingwithsarah.com, and I'm here today to show you a technique that I've recently learned that I thought would be useful for you to know, and that's how to insert clear elastic into the seam of a garment. You'll notice on a lot of ready-to-wear, if you start looking at the shoulder seams or maybe even the neckline or the waistband seams of your pants or skirts or t-shirts, that there's a lot of clear elastic in there. And that's because the clear elastic gives the seam a little extra stability, a little extra structure and durability, but also some extra stretch. And I decided to try this technique out when I was making a skirt for my daughter. She wears cloth diapers, so she's a little fluffy in the bum sometimes. And this technique was something that would help the skirt stretch over her bottom while still being the right size for her waist. And so I'm going to show you today how that's done. I'm going to take you over to the table, show you the supplies that I use, and I'm going to take you over to the serger and show you how I do that on the serger. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you learned something new today. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the supplies that we need to have ready when we get ready to insert our clear elastic. The first thing that you need is your ruffle piece that's already gathered to the correct length. And then you need your connector piece, in the case of this skirt, that's already serged into a loop. And I've made sure that those are approximately, the same length, you can see, so that they're ready to go and ready to be serged together. The next thing that you're going to need, of course, is clear elastic. This is 1/4 inch clear elastic. And I like it because since this pattern uses a 1/4 inch seam allowance, it fits in perfectly right there. But if you had 3/8 inch clear elastic, that would work too. It is important, at least I believe it's important that it be clear elastic. The regular elastic, the braided elastic that you might use in a waistband or something like that is thicker. This is nice and thin and nice and stretchy, and especially for children who tend to be kind of sensitive to the way things feel in their clothes, having this layer that lends extra stretch and support without being something that they can really feel that's bunchy in there is really important. So I highly recommend clear elastic for this job. And then finally, I have 2 serger feet here. Now I have the Brother 1034D serger, which is an incredibly common serger, and this is the standard serger foot that came with the machine. It says LR4 on it, and this is what I've always used. But when I was getting ready to try this technique out, I noticed that I had this other foot that came with my machine, the LG foot, it says. And then it has this slot, I don't know if you can see it, this slot here, where you can feed something through. And I thought that might be useful, and indeed it did turn out to be useful, in feeding the clear elastic through evenly. And so this is the foot that I'm going to use today, but if you don't have it, that's okay. You can still feed the clear elastic into your seam using this regular foot. So let's head over to the serger and see how this works. Okay, so the first thing that I've done here in order to get started is I've gone ahead and fed my clear elastic through this foot, and I've started serging onto it just a little bit. Just to make sure that I'm hitting it exactly right, and you can see in here that I am. It's serging directly onto the clear elastic, so that's perfect. I also have my ruffle and my connector piece already attached here with clips. So I've got that on there, and then I'm going to actually remove this free arm piece so that I have a little bit of extra room to maneuver. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna lift up the presser foot, slide the ruffle and the connector piece underneath, making sure that I'm not bunching it, and then I'm gonna start serging on. And the clear elastic is getting fed right in there along the way. Now the clear elastic, as you can see, I have the skirt and the ruffle connector piece right sides together. And then the elastic is going in the wrong side. You want it, of course, on the wrong side of your seam. Go ahead and serging it in there. And you do kind of have to guide the clear elastic. I like to hold it here with my thumb. And then it just gets serged in there, right along in with the seam. And it takes a little bit of practice just to get it lined up correctly, but I find that if you let the machine do most of the work, it actually goes better. So I'm just going to keep on doing that, and then I'll take you back to the table and show you the finished product. Okay, so there we have it. I went ahead and finished. I kept going around with the serger, and you can see the clear elastic that got encased there in that seam as it serged over the ruffle piece in the top piece. And then when you flip it up, it's still got those beautiful gathers, but it's also got a little bit of extra stretch, and that's what helps it go over those fluffy bums. So I hope that this has been helpful to you, and that now you feel comfortable trying a new technique, inserting some clear elastic into the seams. It doesn't even have to be a ruffled seam. You could use this technique just to insert clear elastic into the seam of, you know, a t-shirt shoulder, or even the, you know, front edge of a neckline. This is a really useful technique that you can use in a lot of different ways. So you can now continue on with whatever you're making that involves ruffles, and happy sewing!